Can realtors access properties that you can't find online through some of the services like realtor.com, Zillow, and Redfin? Find out. So the answer is yes. There are properties that realtors can find that are not included on the public websites. So my name is Debbie Reyna. I'm a realtor with HomeSmart Connect. I do real estate in the northwestern, and western suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something called the private listing network. So realtors have access to this network. Why would a seller put their property in a private network and not put it out for the public to see? There's a couple reasons. One is it can be looked at kind of like a coming soon property where somebody is not quite ready to list their home yet, but they know that they're going to be ready in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe they still need to clean it up. Maybe they need to pack and want to get some of the boxes out. You know, all your agents tell you, clean it up, declutter, all of that. So maybe they're in that process, but they were thinking, and their agent was strategizing with them and telling them, maybe what we need to do is put this in the private network. So at least if somebody's looking in this area, they know that it's coming. It's a great strategy, but it is not included in the public information that you would get from any of the three websites, or there's also Trulia, all of the others. But anyway, it won't go on any of those public websites until such time as it has been converted to an active listing. So there's a benefit for working with an agent and not just going on your own. I have a lot of people that ask, well, why should I use a realtor? Especially there's now the whole post August 17th situation where now we're having to have buyers sign a buyer's agency agreement. Briefly, what that means is that you are kind of connecting yourself to an agent just like you would if you listed your property. When you list your property, you sign an agreement with that agent. I give you rights to sell my property for the next however many days. And then that realtor is tied to you for that period of time. The same thing happens with the buyer's agency agreement now. The agents are required to tell the buyer that I am working for you and this is what I will charge to work for you. And it can be done in a couple different ways, and we could do that in a different video. But something to keep in mind is that people do ask, why do I need to work with a realtor, especially if there's a chance that I might have to pay them out of pocket, which normally doesn't happen. And that's, again, a strategy to work with your agent, which I would be happy to work with you. But back to my private listing network. So when you are working with an agent, we can see things that are not shown on the public websites. And the advantage to that is with the market being as tight as it is right now, there's not a lot of inventory. If you know that you're very specific about a property type or a property location, it's great to work with a realtor because now what we can do is we can actually look at all of the active listings, but also the ones that are in the private network. So what that means is that if somebody's got a property that is coming soon, we can locate that property and keep our eye on it. And sometimes we can even show those properties. I recently sold a property to a buyer that was still in the private network. The reason that it was still in the private network is because the sellers were not quite packed up and ready to go. They hadn't prepped the house for sale, but their agent was smart. She was trying to let potential buyers in that area know that this property was coming. So I reached out to her. I asked her, can we see it? Her response was, yep, if they can see past boxes and all of the packing, you're welcome to go take a look. Ended up that my buyer loved the property. We made an offer, got accepted. Bonus, bonus, bonus. My buyer got a property before it was even hitting the market, which was a great advantage to us. And the seller had the advantage of just getting rid of the property without having to show it, deal with the photography, deal with all of the, open houses, people tracking through your house, all of that kind of thing with the showings. It's never convenient to sell your house. It is an inconvenience because you have to leave and all of that. These people happen to have a dog. It was a process for them to have to leave the home. And so for them, it was a great deal. We came through once, we looked at the home, we made an offer, they accepted, everybody's happy, and we move forward. So that property would have never been seen if my buyer wasn't working with me. They would have not seen it if they had just gone to Zillow or Redfin or any of those, again, public websites. So that is a great reason to be working with a realtor. I always think you should be working with a realtor because, again, we can give you great guidance and help you through the process. It's something that we do frequently. And as a buyer or seller, most people don't do it that often. So it can be a very nerve wracking situation. And it's something that is nice to have somebody by your side holding your hand and making sure you understand the process, and for us to give you our best guidance and share our experience with you. And that will help you get the best deal possible.